Exactly. Break it down to me. How much were you earning? What was the position?
Yeah, literally October we were doing, or I did around $8,000. November in our first month we did around $10,000. December we did $100,000, and in January I did about $125,000 this month. Looking to scale more, scale to 500,000 a month ASAP.
Yep.
Now, if you look below this video on the left side, you'll see a little icon that says unlisted. And that means that this video is completely private on YouTube and is inaccessible to the public, because I don't want Oscar's competitors to see this video, because we break down everything that got us to 125K a month. How we blew up the top funnel, how we pre-sold our audience on YouTube in the middle funnel, and also how we managed to close most of our clients with little to no sales calls. And all of that with 0 ad spend and only 5 employees, which is why we had 90% profit margins. But if you happen to have any questions after watching this video or during watching this video, there's a link down below to DM me on Instagram. I'm always happy to answer any questions. Enjoy.
So I just want to break down what happened. You were earning around $8,000 a month.
Yeah.
2 to 3 months down the line, you now own a 7-figure business at 19 years of age. You've worked with several big entrepreneurs. Under these, you have worked with one of the, or not the top 1 artist in the world, according to GQ magazine.
Yep.
What happened?
Bro, this is one thing I would say, is a lot of people think this is luck. This was straight strategy. This was all implemented very strategically, and this is why I have to give my big props to Tolu here. I mean, literally, in our first month of working together, I wanted to scale to 25,000 a month by the end of the year. That was my goal. I was like, if I can get that, I'm set. I've made it. In our first month working together, we only went up $2,000. We went from $8,000 to $10,000 because we implemented everything. We went through email marketing, we went through CTAs, revamped the entire YouTube, reset it from the ground up. We scaled the Skool community and decreased the churn rate. We revamped the entire content structure of how we promote and sell the Skool community, our entire funnel and value ladder. We've revamped Instagram stories. We started using new content reels on Instagram, 2 videos getting over 30 million views. One is currently on 40 million views at the moment. We literally just reset the entire strategy. We went all in, recorded an insane VSL, did it all perfectly. And during that month, I was like, okay, I'm doing all this work, but I'm not seeing return, because we were all set it up. And this is what we said. December, we go marketing mania. We gave it all. In November, we set it up for December. And then it just had to come. When you really looked back at all that we did together and the strategy that you really showed me, because I was so clueless, we had to reach 100,000, and we did. And then it became just super easy.
Could I just have 50 seconds of your day? Oscar's results were obviously insane, and there are a lot more members who managed to get amazing results just by getting clients with a personal brand. Now, did they 15x their business within 90 days just like Oscar did? No, of course not. But a lot of our clients actually 5 to 7x their income within a few months, no matter the niche, whether they have 100,000 followers, 10,000 followers, or 0 followers. Now, if that sounds of any interest to you, I actually left a link down below for you to schedule a meeting with me. I'm gonna have some questions for you, and you're gonna have some questions for me, and if it's a good fit, I'll send you the checkout page and let you pull the trigger. And there's also gonna be a lot more information on that page about what we exactly do that gets people these amazing results. But yeah, that's it. You know, if you're the right person, I'm genuinely looking forward to getting you in with the other guys and just getting you to the next level, just like Oscar. See you soon. Bye-bye.
You talked about the strategy. I think the numbers that you reached are absolutely unheard of, and a lot of people will have clicked on this video, not even from a sense of intrigue, but maybe even more of a sense of doubt, thinking this is not possible. This 19-year-old kid is not making 100K a month, and this guy didn't enter his business and just 20x his business. So let's break it down. Your case was completely unheard of, as I said, and just special in a way that it was. What was it? What was it exactly where you would say, all right, these were the exact 20% that got 80% of the results, and this is also the reason why we blew up and other people inside the niche didn't?
Yeah, exactly, 100%. I think the big things that we really focused on, my mindset really got revamped, because I'm good at what I know. You know, I know my health-based stuff. I'm good at that like kind of niche. I know a lot about it, and therefore I think we had a really good, offer. From there, what we really focused on was this idea of stop building half-built bridges. I had so many projects, I had so many goals of things I wanted to do. I was already thinking about launching an app before I'd even launched my Skool-based community. I was already thinking about doing this before I'd even started my YouTube channel. And we just locked in, focused on one thing at a time. We went crazy. We literally went absolutely crazy on building the YouTube from the ground up, getting to 75,000 subscribers in just over 3 months flat. Making sure the thumbnails were perfect, making sure the CTAs were good, making sure it was providing value, making sure it wasn't overlapping with the Skool community. And from there, the big thing that no one realizes, obviously we won the Skool games in December as well, little side note, but throughout that time, a lot of people win the Skool games, and then we didn't even we didn't even go to the Skool game because we were so locked in, which is crazy.
Like we couldn't. If we would have went, we would have peaked.
Yeah, I know.
We would have
Yeah.
dropped off.
Exactly. But so many people win this stuff and they do all of this, and then it's not sustainable. You reach 100,000, then you go back down to 20,000, then you have the flashy video, and that month where you get 100,000 is what actually helps people make money in the future, because then they create videos like this. This was a sustainable approach where we won the Skool games and we kept scaling, we kept expanding, we kept putting things in place. We decreased the churn rate while scaling the Skool from 200 members to 1,600 members at $40 a month within 1 month. We also decreased the churn rate from 40% to 22%. And I think it went even lower. Maybe it went below 20% at one point as well. Like we halved the churn rate. What's that? We fucking like 800%. I don't even know the numbers. 8x the number of people within the Skool community. Scaled the YouTube, set up bridges, and focused on one thing at a time. And then we were allowed to focus on marketing. And then we were allowed to focus on scaling this offer, the high ticket, the mid ticket, etc. One thing at a time, build the half-built bridges, and we went about it super strategically. From there, yeah, sky's the limit, and that's how you do it.
So you explained the whole funnel to a part until the Skool. A lot of people went there. Well, how much does the Skool make? I think the Skool made
Skool is about
a month, 80K a month.
Yeah, about 80K a month at the moment.
Exactly, around 80K a month. I mean, I think in December we had 1,600 people, or all at like $39 a month. You can do the math.
Yeah.
But you're making six figures. You're not making $80,000 a month, right? So how does it continue? How do we make even more money out of the people who joined the Skool? And also, how do we get people from Instagram to get more people to get more money out of them, even if they didn't join the Skool?
100%. Well, the strategy was this, our value ladder, which everyone's got to have. We had our Skool community as our lower ticket option. At the same time, I provide a lot of value. Like that's the one thing we did. We went over this. You just provide a load of value. You don't need to gatekeep things. You don't need to mess things around. You provide value, and from there you can scale a really good offer because you can believe in what you're doing. Discipline turns into devotion, and at the same time you can actually not hide anything. So we had our YouTube, which was basically our free. It's just free, like a lot of value there. Build up trust, get them into the Skool community. Low ticket, $39 a month. Even more value, even more accountability, access to me, access to challenges to win more money. I mean, why would you not join? Little plug. Then $39 a month, low ticket. Then we also scaled the Project 8, which is our one-on-one coaching, higher ticket offer, where I work directly with people, like the #1 artist that GQ named this year, like several other relatively large entrepreneurs, getting them results and testimonials, creating case studies out of those results and testimonials to then reset the entire funnel. At the same time, we just launched a group coaching mid-ticket offer as well. Yeah. And we're also launching an even lower ticket app. So we've got free low ticket app, which is launching Skool community $39 a month, mid ticket offer, high ticket offer, and then we can slowly promote it on the Instagram, get them into the YouTube, get them into the Skool community, upsell them into that, upsell them, constantly force them to do these things, or not force them, but offer these things, offer more value, and you're not gatekeeping anything. No one feels like you're scamming them because you're not. You're actually providing value, and then it's just, that's it.
Facts. That was basically the funnel broken down.
Yeah. I'm a pro these days, man. I might have to steal your job.
Bro, I don't think so. Until you learn my old strategies, I'll have new ones. But regardless, that was one thing that I told you once, that I once journaled about. I said, Oscar, I journaled about one thing because I wanted to find out what it was exactly. At the point, of course, we had good execution, but there was one thing exactly that basically led to so much success in such a short amount of time. and basically led us to outperform a lot of people. Do you remember what I told you? I can give you a hint if you don't.
No, okay, let me guess. This is going into the book of Tolu quotes.
Yes, bro.
There's a lot of Tolu quotes here. I even wrote some down. I journaled about them because they were so like they were like messing with my head sometimes.
Which ones did you write down?
Bro, I'll tell you the one. I think this is the one you're speaking of. People don't want to be sold to. They want to go shopping. Is that it?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm cooking. That's the big one. And that is a big one. I mean, I just take over with the way we implemented that was so important as well. You know, we rewired the entire way. My initial thing, right, and this is probably my ego, etc., with the way I wanted to sell things. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna provide the value, pitch the YouTube, pitch the Skool community at the very end. I don't need to force people into things, and I don't want to sell them anything because I just want my product to sell itself, you know?
Yeah.
Very slight change we made. We didn't force the sell. We didn't do anything crazy. We still let people buy it themselves. We let them go shopping, but we gave them the opportunity to actually see it, you know? Like, you can't go shopping if you don't know what you're trying to buy, you know? We're not selling it to them. We're just like putting it out there. And that's where we changed the CTAs of the YouTube videos. We kind of, you know, changed the hooks. We kind of rechanged the scripts. Everything else was off script, but the hooks and the CTAs were very important. Instagram Q&As are exceptionally important. Showing the transformations, rinsing the case studies, you know, actually showing that this stuff works so people can have an idea of it, and then just floating out the idea of the offer, not directly selling it to them. And then people don't feel like they're being sold to. People join, and it's as easy as that. People don't want to be sold to. They want to go shopping.
Exactly. Just a quick note from me, because a lot of people who see this will want to scale their info business, and like whether you work with me or not, take this from me as a nugget of value. When I say people hate being sold to, but I love to go shopping, what I exactly mean is if I go into a mall and I go there to buy pants and somebody's going to step in front of me and it's a salesman, he's going to scream at me, this jacket, it really suits you, it suits your skin color, and it is amazing, and it's perfect for the weather and whatever, then I'll think, fuck off, like don't talk to me because I'm not here to buy a jacket. But maybe that jacket was amazing, and if I would have just seen that jacket over and over again, I would have maybe gotten FOMO and I would have went into that shop, and if I would have then grabbed that jacket and tried it on, I would have bought it for sure, although I wanted to go there to buy pants. And it's the same with Instagram and YouTube. People don't go to Instagram or YouTube in order to buy stuff. They go there to be entertained, to be educated, and to learn stuff and to be motivated and inspired, but not to buy. So if you're going to be able to create FOMO whilst doing that, that is how you sell. And every hardcore CTA is just desperation.
Agreed. I think that's a really good way of putting it, and something we're talking about a lot. You know, now that we're really working together, focusing on the YouTube in particular, really scaling the kind of you know, that working on that kind of half-built bridge. Yeah, I think it's super powerful, super important, and I think those are the strategies that you really need to implement. And at the same time, you know, you can have someone doing these things, but unless you're working with someone that you fully trust, this is like, you know, me selling Tolu a bit, you know, like me selling just the idea of working with someone, which is, unless you're working with someone that you truly trust, unless you're actually learning from them, unless you feel like you're involved in the process, you're going to become alienated from your own business. You're not going to understand the actual working, and then it's not going to sustainably grow. You're going to constantly need someone. You need to work with someone who obviously cares about scaling their own business, but cares even more about scaling yours. And that's the rare thing I found when I was looking and trying to find so many people to help me, you know, with the growth operation and scaling everything from the ground up, scaling from really less than 4 figures a month to 6 figures in 1 month. You need to work with someone that you trust. You need to work with someone that's genuinely invested in you. And I think there is no one that you can actually trust in this space, because so many people are just fucking scammers, you know, and like don't actually know what they're talking about. And that's the one thing I really respect about Tol and I. I mean, he was as invested in his own business as he was in mine. Like, he probably worked on my business for that month as much as he did on his own. Like, you know, that's the kind of, you know, commitment that you need. And that's why the opportunity to work with someone that you truly trust is probably the most beautiful and powerful thing that you can do in business.
True. Appreciate you.
Of course.
I think one thing that we got to mention is there was one key difference between what you did to what others did. I want to break this down real quick.
Yeah.
A lot of people drag their audience onto landing pages and try to market to them through email or other platforms or whatever. We didn't do that. we did all the marketing, or let's say we build trust towards people. If you need 80% trust towards a person so that he could actually buy your product, we built maybe 70% through marketing, and the remaining 10% were done through you in sales. So we didn't even need sales rep, and most of the trust was built through marketing, and that's how most 8-figure businesses scale right now.
Yep.
It's like if you can have the best sales rep in the world, but if you just scale your systems instead of your people, you can build trust towards them and do most of the sale via marketing, and then fill the rest with 10%. That's something that I learned from Paul Daly, the CEO of Educate. He was the CEO of Educate. One question that I wanted to ask is, how do we integrate the marketing into your content? We use it for Instagram and we use it for YouTube as well.
Yep.
Um,
It
sorry.
was interesting. No, sorry. No, my fault. I'm just thinking about it out loud because I think what you're saying really makes a lot of sense. I didn't even think about that idea. The fact that, I mean, I still don't have sales right. I take my sales course. I don't think there are many people that have actually scaled a business to an info business to over 6 figures a month without like a super bloated, ugly business in a super short period of time. Like, I don't have sales reps. I have appointment setters. I have people that I trust. I have a small team.
How many appointment setters?
One appointment setter, bro. One appointment setter. One guy in the Instagram DMs. That's it. I have friends that I hire, that I work with, that I trust a lot. I have Todd and I have, one or two other guys that I'm launching stuff with. The team is so lean. It's super effective. Like, this is the thing that, you can say, 8,000 to 100,000 revenue in 1 month, but you don't even realize the fact that this is pure profit. This is sustainable. This is pure profit. This is scaling to, like, getting ready to scale to 7 figures a month with an actual mission, like, where you can genuinely believe and be obsessed with what you do in a good way. And that's what people need to understand. Like, I don't think there's really many people, and this isn't me saying I did any of this shit. I've got lucky, to be honest. Like, not lucky, but like, I got the right people around me, and I had enough work ethic and discipline to actually get the stuff done and do what I know I need to do. And I'm lucky where I found something that I genuinely like and believe in. But there's no one that does that sustainably. There's so many people with that they know what they love and they know what they want to do, and they even have people around them. No one really scales it efficiently. And the way that we marketed it was really interesting, which is we didn't run paid ads. I've never run no inorganic growth, nothing, no genetically modified growth, none of that bullshit processed food, bro.
Bro,
And
did you just pull organic growth to organic growth and like?
Yeah. Bro, organic produce, bro. I'm already thinking about the steak I'm gonna have later. But yeah, nothing inorganic, like full organic, promotion. The marketing was very strategic. We ran one email marketing campaign, nothing other than that. We were super organic via YouTube. We Todd and I is an expert with actually analyzing the algorithm. We, rehashed thumbnails, A/B tested everything countless times, tested so many different titles, what exactly to write, how to phrase it, what to write in the description, how to funnel the CTAs, the length of video, the style of camera. We were super strategic about YouTube because I think a lot of people think YouTube's algorithm and luck. I think TikTok is. I actually think TikTok is literally luck and algorithm. I think YouTube is pure strategy. If you want to genuinely grow to 100,000 subscribers of a warm audience who are willing to buy your product and invest in you and believe in you, it needs to be full strategy. The same time with Instagram Q&As, viral short form videos. We were super strategic about implementing more transformations, more case studies, providing an insane amount of value, subtly linking the Skool community and pushing one thing. I didn't even mention, other than this video, I've never really mentioned my one-on-one coaching, any other offers. We provide one offer, we funnel into that thing, and then we upsell or even further downsell from there. Funnel it into one thing, be super strategic, one bridge at a time, all of the marketing into one place, focus on the YouTube, then focus on the Instagram, build it all up, and you're chilling.
Fact. You said that you were lucky. I don't think you were. I think that was one thing that really distinguished you from other people. And did you remember what I told you, what it was that distinguished you from others? Also something I know about. I told it to you when I was in Cape Town, when you were in Miami, I think.
Yeah.
Still absolutely crazy, but regardless, what was it? What did I tell you?
Big Tolu said that I had speed. I was fast, and I really appreciate that compliment. Yeah, that's it meant a lot, to be fair.
Exactly. One thing that like most people don't understand is that I think the day, like literally the day that I put up the strategies and when I told you, hey, this is what we need to do and this is what we got to do. It's not that you accepted everything immediately. You were like, okay, but what about this? What about this? What about this? And your knowledge about the audience combined with my knowledge about marketing really did its wonders. But after we had that done, it's like the time between execution, the time between planning, building the strategy, and doing the execution was a day maximum. If we didn't even start executing on the same day, so that is something that people must understand. Oscar, like you put out a YouTube video a day in the first few weeks, and afterwards a YouTube video every second day. So, like for everyone who's watching this right now, that is the number one thing you should do. It's not about posting once a day, it's about testing a new thing every single day. And that is exactly what happened. And what happened when you found the formula that worked on Instagram and that you worked on YouTube? What is the
Yep.
thing that we talk about all the time that nobody realizes in order to go viral over and over and over and over
Yep.
again? But it's
Rinse and
literally
repeat.
exactly. Rinse and repeat.
100%. 100%. I mean, it's crazy. You think about it and you look at my most viral Instagram videos. I mean, and this is no shame saying this. I got one with 30 million views. I knew the photos that popped. I knew exactly what popped. This is how you know the algorithm isn't, I still can't even comprehend when I talk to Tol and I about this. I'm like, he's like, this title is what's going to go. This is the difference between 100,000 views on YouTube and 10,000 views. You've got to use this title with this hook, with this CTA. I'm like, bro, there's no way this makes a difference. I'm just going to slightly change it to my words. And then we follow Tol and it gets 100. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Same thing with Instagram, where I got a video with certain pictures that got 30 million views. I got another one. I got one with 12.5 million, no, 17.5 million views. They got the same thing. 12.5 million. They got the same thing. 37.5 million using the same base, same photos, slightly expanding, the same core photos, same everything. Rinse and repeat because it will never die. People want one thing and one thing only. The algorithm wants one thing and one thing only. The moment you strike gold and you find it, and you strike gold by the more that you work and the more that you try things, you'll eventually have to find something that works. The moment you find it, never let it go. You know what I mean? Like people say you do it and they need to find another thing. You just repeat,
Exactly.
like put it in a different form and repeat again. And that is how you scale.
But exactly, that's the thing. I think one little keynote from me, because a lot of people don't know. It's like they think that we're just doing the growth operating stuff, but we're actually integrating our marketing into the content. Reason why is just because we scaled my brands to more than 500,000 followers when I was around 18 years of age. So
Yeah.
the key difference is that every single brand that blows up very quickly has this one thing that they just repeat the same thing over and over again. And every single brand that makes a lot of money with that does the thing that we did with Oscar, which is to integrate the marketing into the content. There is a very interesting quote that I learned from Louis Berger, who is basically the CMO, the Chief Marketing Officer of Iman Ghazi. By the way, we are now learning from Iman Ghazi, and I think you met up with Iman Ghazi as well. Is it true?
Yeah, I was on his jet last month.
Which is so what the fuck. But still, what he basically explained was you can get a VSL or your ad to be uploaded on social media and integrate your knowledge about content and going viral. And therefore, maybe your conversion rate of a VSL won't be 3%, but instead 1%. But instead of getting 10,000 people onto that VSL for I don't know how much ad spend, you would rather get 1 million people onto that VSL with zero ad spend. In fact, you have negative ad spend because you're getting paid.
Yeah.
And that is the thing about integrating your marketing into content. There's one last thing, bro, that I wanted to mention, which is we're at a good point now. What's your next plan? What are we doing now? And what is the new plan? We talked about expanding the YouTube.
Yeah, Tolu Thursdays. Every week we have a call with Tolu Thursdays. Hey, there's so many quotes. But everyone, I'm forcing it while this is on camera. Tolu and I is going to write for you the book of Tolu quotes, which is going to be released publicly, and I'm going to directly promote it. But yeah, I mean, that's a side note. On Tolu Thursdays, Tolu and I is basically taking over my YouTube, just nailing everything, as the expert he is. I kind of begged him for it, and we've got it. And essentially, I mean, the strategy is ridiculous. The level of detail is borderline, like without glazing the guy too much, it is super impressive. Where, our plan is we've got a guy helping me or working with me to write the, bullet points for every video. Tol and I gets the hooks made. Tol and I writes the CTAs. We have like 3 guys rehashing and testing over every single thumbnail. We have a creative director, 4 guys editing. And this is for a YouTube channel with 75,000 subscribers. To analyze like literally every statistic for every video. We are doing a very strategic approach. We're expanding the content, shifting out. We've maximized our kind of niche. We kind of won the looks maxing and health maxing niche. How are we going to expand? We're testing. You're testing until we strike gold. We're expanding. We're going to find what works. We're going to keep scaling. I'm willing to work fast. I'm willing to work hard. I don't get tired, because I'm healthy. So that's a byproduct of what I'm doing. I don't get sick, etc. I can work and record 3 YouTube videos a day. We can rehash, we can experiment, try, scale, become the GOATs. We're going to be 1 million subs in a couple months. And that's what we're doing at the moment.
I don't even know whether you're allowed to say this or how much you can say, but what are your next business ventures that you want to share with the brand? Name the ones that you can name if you want to.
No, I got you. Well, we're launching. Okay, yeah. I need to think. I think I can name most of this.
Okay.
We're launching Zygo Tape product in a few weeks. We're launching Health Max app in, I think, a month and a half. At the same time, I'm starting an offshore hedge fund for young entrepreneurs to invest their money more effectively. I've got my, a guy that I met in Florida who's basically like the GOAT, old guy, older, like 70-year-old man. He's the GOAT of hedge funds, like CEO of Goldman Sachs. Yeah. And he was thumb pulling and trying all of the health stuff out, and he was loving it. So he's willing to help me out with that. Then we're also launching another product, which I can't talk about, but yeah, we're cooking.
Nice. We've reached 25 minutes. I think we've summarized a lot of things, and I think the last 25 minutes were very, very value packed. For anyone who is watching this video, whether they work with me or whether they don't work with me, whether they're here just to learn or do whatever, what is a piece of advice that you would give somebody who is about to start his own creator-led business?
Yep, 100%. I think
One
it's
piece of advice.
Shit.
Take your time.
Let me actually deep it.
Yeah, take your time.
I would genuinely say this. I'd say work with people that you can trust with your life, and if you don't have that at the moment, that's what you really need. You cannot do this all by yourself. I tried to do that for a very long period of time. I scaled to $10,000 a month very effectively. However, if you really want to scale to a 7-figure business, to an 8-figure business, and actually have time in your hands to do the things that you like doing and enjoy and reap the rewards, you need at least 2 or 3 people that you would trust with your life, that you could give your business to and know they wouldn't take or do anything with it. You need a full team of people you trust. It's the hardest lesson for me to learn because I think my ego is too large at the start, but that is it. That's what you need to do as a creator.
Oscar Patel, thank you for your time.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Tolu.